Welcome back to the Kane's Wrath Champions League. We are here with the series from Group F, and in the bottom left-hand corner, the number 1 seed for this group is the yellow Traveller 59. It is Senna. And in the top right of Tournament Odyssey, the number 2 seed for this group, it is Lumos. He's playing as Nod Vanilla, and I'm very excited to cast this series. Now, both players in this tournament get to host a series. It'll be a best of 8, and the host of the series gets to choose the maps throughout their entire series. It's not loser picks. It is one series. Lumos will pick every map, which is this series. We are currently in Lumos' series, and this is the first series these players played against each other, so I have casted this one first, and I will cast the second one as well. Senna actually picked random in this first game. Lumos picked his faction. And it seems like all of Senna's buzzers have been cleaned up except for one, which has snuck through and is heading into the base. But there is a raider buggy moving up there, so Lumos obviously knows about it, or he just has a suspicion that there's a buzzer in the north. No disintegrators out by Senna either, so no early fast legs. Or no disintegrators at all from Senna, actually, which is unusual because Senna does love his disintegrators, even as Reaper 17 and Scrin. He really does love to go for those disintegrators. So obviously Senna is the favourite. He is the number 1 seed in the group. It is a 4-man group. Both of these players have defeated the other 2 players in the group. So it is basically whoever can win these series or get more points from the series will finish on top of the group. So it's a very important series because I imagine, I'm not quite sure how the tournament will work in the further stages, but I do know that if you finish first, you're guaranteed to qualify to the next stage. But if you finish second, only 6 of the 10 players that finish second in their group qualify for the major event. So it's very important for both of these players to ensure that they are able to finish top of the group. So it's a very big series because both of these players are very capable. Obviously, Senna is a lot more well-known than Lumos. Senna's been around for a lot longer, and he just has a reputation of being this ruthless spam, just infinite money type player. Lumos, though, I mean, he only has really Nod in his repertoire that seems to be seriously competitive. But, saying that, he's bloody good at it. So, you only need one faction. When there's no strike rules in a tournament, you only need the one faction. And Lumos is good at his Nod. So, I'm really excited to see how this goes. Obviously, Senna can play any faction. Most of the pros can, really. It's mainly the Russians that seem to stick to their Nod only. But even Eclipse has been learning how to play GDI lately, which I think is great. Not trying to throw shade at the Russians here, but that's just how it is, isn't it? Alright, so obviously I'm sort of rambling because there's not much going on in this game right now. Both sides going for a 4 refinery build, which is pretty standard for Tournament Odyssey. It's a pretty black and white map. You just sort of build aimlessly eco and then just spam out from 7 production structures and see how it goes. But the most will be looking to put on some pressure, I think. I don't think you want to let Senna go late game, ever. Because unless you do something very impressive, macro-based, he's going to out-eco you. And that's just how Senna plays. And to be fair, he has a severely larger army than Lumos at the moment. I mean, that's a lot of Seeker tanks. And he's following up with disintegrators, getting his fast legs upgrade. Double portal now from Senna. Operation Center comes down with the second War Factory, looking for that Dozer Blades upgrade. He's going to need a few Raider Buggies to come out now. They're actually going for another Harvester, so there you go. So Lumos has 9 Harvesters. Senna also with 9? No, Senna has 8. Senna has 8 Harvesters. He has 4 on each field. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, Lumos does have the Harvester advantage, but how much does that really mean? Senna looking to push in here. He's actually splitting up his forces. I don't know if that's intentional or if he's planning to do an attack in both bases. Lumos has split his army up as well, but now Senna is starting to concentrate his forces. The Disintegrator Seeker spam that we love to see from Traveller players is on the map. And we're going to watch this engagement here. The Disintegrators are starting to come in, and there's really not much anti-infantry here. There's a few Raider buggies and the Shredder turrets, but they're being dropped rather quickly. The Scorpion tanks from the right-hand side are starting to come in and flank the Seeker tanks. And they're going to start focusing them down, but I think Senna will be pushed back. Yeah, and actually, Lumos, I actually thought he might have been in a little bit of trouble there, but he pushed that back quite well. Tier 3 out for both players. Mechapeds for Senna. Is he going for shard launchers? Yes, he is, and I doubt he's going for Traveller engines. But laser capacitors is already halfway done for Lumos. Mechapeds coming out. He's not actually building the segments on them yet, and he's gone for double war factory, and does he really need to go for shard launchers now? I mean, I guess it's such a good upgrade, because if you get in a pickle late game where you've lost your tier 3, Seeker tanks with shard launchers are really powerful, and especially when you mix them in with fast leg disintegrators, if you need to late game. Now, there's 4 Mechapeds on the field. Not many segments on them, but Senna's starting to build those segments up now. And oh geez, if there was a tip vein there, oh, there's actually 5 Mechapeds. If Lumos had clicks, that could have almost been GG. Senna written out of the game. The mean temporal wormhole comes down. Laser capacitors is done. He should probably focus fire, even though he's in that temporal, because he's just getting picked off by the Mechapeds now. Is going to get out of the temporal, but the Mechapeds have already cleaned up at least half of the army and are now kiting the Scorpion tanks. Oh no, they're reverse moving into the Mechapeds. That's disastrous. So Seeker tanks, they're going to move out to the right hand side of the map. And this MCV is under a lot of pressure now. There are 6 Mechapeds sitting here. He's not actually going to go for it. A 7th Mechaped arrives and an 8th as well. The Scorpion tanks numbers are really low. I mean, you need a lot more Scorpion tanks than that to deal with all of these Mechapeds and the Shard Seekers that are coming out on the right hand side. There are Venoms out, and if there's no AA segments, they can slowly whittle away, especially at these low, like you can see there's 3 Mechapeds here with low damaged heads. He would want to pick those off with the Venoms maybe. I think he actually got a Mechapede there. I don't think that was a segment. I think that was a whole Mechapede. Shard launcher Seekers in the right hand side of the base are just camping this war factory. I would just sell it. I mean, building this Scorpion tank is just a waste of money. It's just it gets one shot off and then it dies. Doesn't kill anything. Venom's around the left hand side of the map. Not sure what they're gonna try and achieve. Maybe looking for a Prodigy, but I don't think Senna's built a Prodigy yet. Yeah, I can't see one on the map. He's just sort of camping out in the middle of the map now with his massive Mechapede army. He's got double ref on his expansion, but he's only got 2 harvesters, so he needs to transition some harvesters over there. These Venoms are actually going to focus down this war factory, which is just annoying. It's just really annoying, but he needs to get out of there now. Whoa, why did you fly into the AA? That was a really odd choice. We'd rather fly away from it, I'd think. He's got double obelisk down here, but Senna's not even looking to attack on that left-hand side. I mean, I think that's a really poor decision. To drop an obelisk when you don't need to. See, he could just have it sitting there queued up instead. It's not like he's queued up another one. He hasn't placed that down to free up and build like, oh, here, I've got 2 obelisks here and I'll have another one right. Like, he's not built another one, so why did he place that down? You could have just cancelled it or kept it in your build queue and not committed to spending that money. You can always cancel it if you don't need it. Now, he's starting to build another one now, so... And 2 obelisks really aren't going to defend from this much stuff anyway. We're going to need the Scorpions there to support, so it's a bit of a... I feel like it's a bit of a waste of money, but he is starting to establish his economy quite well. He's actually... No, he's not caught up, because Senna's gone for triple ref, so there you go. Now, there is going to be a big engagement on this right-hand side, but I just don't think Lumos has enough here. The Scorpion tanks are coming in, but I just don't think there's enough here. And the Scorpion tanks are forced to retreat. And yeah, I mean, he really didn't kill anything. And lost quite a number of Scorpion tanks. I'm actually surprised Senna isn't pushing into this. Or maybe sending his Mechapeds out to the second base. The Mechapeds are just going to be able to outmaneuver the forces that, that Lumos has. Relying on a Scorpion tank army versus the Mechapeds isn't really the best situation for the Nod player. They'd rather have the ability to... maneuver around with Black Buggy. This Avatar, I'm not really sure what that's doing out there. It's going to get picked off for sure. There's 4 tripods marching down over there. And that Avatar isn't even going to get a shot off before it gets killed. Engineer here. Now we did see, yeah, Engineer's on the left-hand side. So we've got to watch these, because if they capture a ref, That's crippling. And maybe he's even going to go for that. I mean, he's not going to be able to get him with this engineer because of the obelisks. But if... Oh my god, what is my mouse doing? If he could capture that, what's it called? Expansion point. That's what it's called. That could be a way to, really hurt him. I don't know where he's going with that. Alright, we'll have a look down here. There is a Scorpion tanks fighting with Mechapeds. He is going to go for a focus down on one of them. He picks off a Mechapede, but I think he's probably overstayed his welcome. And the tripods have been able to catch up to that lower portion of his army. Another obelisk comes down. There's a triple obelisk wall here, but look how much Senna has. And this is what I mean with Senna. If you just let the man eco, he will just build up an enormous army and just spam you out of the game. That mine drop picked up a Mechapede. But, oh my god, Senna almost lost another Mechapede just by being careless. But I don't think it really matters at this point. There's no way. I mean, 4 obelisks. All Senna has to do is drop 2 airfields and build some dev ships. And these obelisks are completely useless. They're completely redundant because he can... His army is so much bigger. I mean, and also he can just not fight this. He can just walk around and kill all this, kill all this... Oh, actually, there's a massive Avatar army on the right-hand side, but I don't think this is the greatest idea when you're versus Traveler, because Senna, I don't know why he's building shocks. I would be building cultists. When you're versus mass Avatar, cultists are a really good option. The Scorpion tank's actually pushing down on the left-hand side, starting to pick off some shock troopers. Well, they're not really. They don't really do too much damage, but the Venoms come in now, and these Avatars, they're just sort of isolating themselves on the right-hand side of the map, and this is disastrous play by Lumos. I'm not really sure what he's trying to achieve here, because he's just going to get encircled, and he's going to leave all these husks here. Like, he's shooting at oh, a good tip feign though. Alright, so he cleans up some Mechapedes. Maybe this actually isn't too bad. But the problem is these shock troopers. He needs to get the Venoms over there. Oh, but the Venoms are starting to get picked off. Although Senna... Oh no, Senna has so much. I mean, he has a big enough army to deal with the Scorpion tanks and a big enough army to deal with the Avatars. And the Avatars are all going to fall. And I'm pretty sure that Lumos might just throw in the towel. Yeah, there we go. So obviously these replays have been saved by Lumos. But there you go. Senna will take a 1-0 lead in the series. And this is Lumos' series. So if Senna can win in Lumos' series, that's really important. Because then in the second series, he has complete control of the map pool. You can see here, Senna was ahead the whole game. And that's the thing. You play a macro game with Senna and that's what you can expect. You're not going to win it very often. Because he's just so good at just spamming and building a huge army. So that's game number 1. Lumos will be looking to bounce back. Senna takes a 1-0 lead. I'll see you guys in game 2. Alright, game number 3 takes us to Tournament Tower. Lumos in the top left has picked random and has been dealt Reaper 17 in the top left. And in the bottom right, Senna, who is 1-0 up in the series, from random has been dealt Nod Vanilla. So almost a flip of the matchup from the first game. And after I said Lumos is a Nod player, he's gone and picked random and been drawn Reaper 17. So I'm interested to see how he plays this out. Maybe I will eat my words. This is not a good start here for Senna, though. He hasn't gone to protect his engineer at all. And that's just going to get sniped. I mean, yeah, this is a dead engineer. He can't save it. This one, oh, geez, maybe. Does he have a shredder turret queued? He doesn't. He doesn't have a shredder turret queued. I think that engineer's going to fall. And that's a really good start for Lumos already. He's killed the engineer. And that's just, I mean, that's just a huge advantage. And he didn't even really invest much. He built 2 buzzers, just sent them down there. It was just sort of a hope, really. And Senna's gone back for another... What? Senna went back for another barracks. And so now his war factory is super delayed. Lumos' harvester is already halfway done by the time Senna's war factory comes down. Now, there is a really oh, don't send it too close to the tower. Yeah, he's not going to send it through that way. Okay, so he's going to send it down and around. That means there's really no way Lumos could come out and snipe that. So, Senna will get his tib spike, but he has lost a lot of mining time with that. He's going to go for a flame rush. Okay, so he's going to go for a flame rush, and I think this is probably his only option, really. Lumos, he could cancel this harvester. He doesn't need it because he's already economically ahead. Senna has 1 harvester. Wait, no, he has 2 harvesters. Never mind. But going for this 4th harvester, if he's able to defend with no damage taken, I mean, obviously it's the right choice, but I feel like it's high risk, high reward type play from Lumos. He could just lose the game outright right now if he doesn't get enough Seeker Tanks out. Oh, it's all in. It's all in. Senna's all in. Okay, Reckoner comes out, sells off the Operation Center. This Flame Tank is going to get spotted in the middle of the map, but it's all in. Did Lumos see that it was all in? He did. He did see that the MCV was sold. So how does he react? He drops his drone ship down. He's not going for a ref, is he? No way. That has to be a war factory. He's going for a ref. Oh no. That could be really bad. Has he not realized that Senna's all in? He may not have realized that Senna's all in. He must know now. There's so many units on the map. He must realize that Senna's all in. Because going for a ref, I mean... Oh, it's so risky to go for a refinery. I wouldn't place it. He's placed it down. Jeez. And he does not have many units here. He might just get overrun. Senna may take a very quick 2-0 here because he's shooting at the militants. He's not even focusing down the bikes. Good splash there, though. That was a really nice splash. The Reckoner comes in. Only one flame unit, so it won't do too much damage. But the Seeker Tanks have actually somehow held this off, and I'm not sure what the bikes have been doing, but he's been able to defend this with a very limited amount of Seeker Tanks. Now, Senna's actually transitioning into Scorpion Tanks. I don't think that's the play, and he's not going to... Oh, the flame unit is shooting at... Is it shooting at the... I'm not sure. He kills the engineer. If he gets this ref, he might not be looking too bad, because it does deny Lumos the expansion. He's not going for another ref. No way. No way. Lumos, you're crazy. Lumos is like, I don't care about your all-in. I'm going to just keep building eco. Unbelievable. Scorpion Tank's now mixing in with the bikes here. I think he's going to lose that ref. Yeah, he is. So he needs to replace the ref anyway. No, he does cancel it. Well, there you go. So Lumos, I don't know if he just didn't realize it was all in, but I think he knows now that with that many units on the field, he has to be all in. There's no way Senna would be able to have produced that much without a second war factory and without selling his MCV. Still only on 2 harvesters is Senna, so he's going to need to pump out a lot of units because Lumos is looking really comfortable economically. He's going to have to pump out a lot of units and he only has 2 harvesters. That's a big issue. More Seeker Tanks coming out, and that's the thing. Scrin Seeker Tanks with Photon Cannons are pretty potent against not all-ins. Like, and if he gets up to a tier 2 and he starts building dev tanks, that's going to make it really difficult. Tip Spike was actually captured up there, so that's why he built that engineer there. Bikes are actually coming in to start shooting down at this harvester. Builds a photon cannon at the back. It's actually not a bad idea, and he may as well keep it there just as a complete area denial type thing. He can send any harvester back through here from any bike harassment. The engagement does begin in the middle of the map. Scorpion Tanks versus Seeker Tanks, and Senna is actually winning this initial battle. The disintegrators are going to start coming out. Photon cannons need to start getting dropped on the front line. There's another photon cannon, and he has got another ref on this expansion field. I think this is looking really good for Lumos now. I thought he was in a lot of trouble, but I think the Scorpion transition was the wrong play from Senna. I think you need to stick to bike buggy and really trying to break through. And now obviously it's tough because Lumos is Reaper 17, so he does have shielded harvesters, so it's a little bit harder to kill those harvesters. Now, these harvesters, not only do they have the shield that protects them, they actually have more HP. I'm not sure what the exact stats are, but shielded harvesters do have the shield and extra HP to a normal screen harvester. So it is really hard to harass a Reaper 17 for that reason. Second ref comes down, and yeah, I think he's just going to be able to outproduce Senna now because he can just defend with photon cannons. Sells off the ref on the left-hand side. Senna's going to go in. I think he has to win in this push. There's not many Seeker Tanks here, but there's the photon cannon wall, and that's the issue. If he'd kept his operation center, maybe he could break through, but he wouldn't have killed that ref earlier in the game. And it would have been a completely different story, the whole match, if he hadn't sold that Operation Center. But if he could build flame tanks, maybe he could break through this. Still only on the 2 harvesters, and he's probably... No, he probably won't lose this, actually. There's a lot of... I don't see just Scorpion Tanks into it. See, Lumos should just turn around and fire at these Scorpion Tanks. I mean, he's just suiciding them forward. Seeker Tanks are actually going to make a move. I don't think that's the right play. I mean, that's ambitious, because he doesn't even have more units than Senna. He's not going to be able to break through like that. The buggies are still picking up. Oh, he's got stasis. He has got stasis. Maybe that's his play. He's going to try and isolate Senna's army and then kill it. Oh no, the buggies are going to run through the Seeker Tanks. Oh no, Senna. Senna, no! No, 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 no. Oh no, his buggies. The stasis comes down. That's a really nice stasis. He needs to drop repair drones now. Repair drones comes down. Drop down your lightning spike. Drop down all the support powers and win the game, Lumos. I mean, there's just too... Like, with the repair drones, the Seeker tanks just outperform Scorpion tanks when the repair drone support power is called down, because there's so many repair drones that pretty much every Seeker tank can get a drone. I'm not sure what the exact numbers are, but look how many drones there are there. But Lumos is forced back. He hasn't built a second war factory this whole game. He has been one war factory versus an all-in this whole time, just relying on photon cannons and disintegrators to defend long enough. And I'm pretty sure this is a tier 3. So he's going up to tier 3. I mean, this is such a weird choice, such a weird way for Lumos to try and defend this, but it's working. So you know what? It's working. But if Senna had gone for an MCV against this, he actually wouldn't be out of the game, because he's played it so defensively with photon cannons without pumping out units that Senna would have been able to recover, I think. But Senna would never have had any idea of how he was playing this. Now it looks like he's going for shard launchers. I think that's a great idea. I mean, you've got the Seeker tank spam. You may as well go for shard launchers, because also your photon cannons benefit from this. And I think bringing your drone ship forward is a great idea, because you can drop down photon cannons. When you drop down those photon cannons, it's with shard launchers, that's a lot of DPS. Seeker tanks are going to go in for the engage here, and I'm not sure about this. You've got shard launchers on the way. Why would you want to engage? I mean, he's going to get really badly beaten here, and he gets completely surrounded. And every time I call the game, it seems like these players just want to throw it away. Senna now marches through the north of the map. There is one tripod out over here, and there's another tripod there. He might lose his tier 3. Now, obviously, 2 tripods is probably more than enough to end the game, and if he sends this tripod forward, he'll be able to kill this war factory quite easily. Storm column comes down. Senna needs to retreat. He can't fight that. I mean, suiciding all your units for the tier 3 isn't a good idea, because you're going to have nothing to fight what's already out, so you're going to have no units left. He's already lost like 5, 6, 7, 8 Scorpion tanks trying to kill that. Now, we see the issue is that this tripod here, there's only 3 Scorpion tanks left to oppose it, and there's only 5 returning to base. He's really going to struggle to fight this. Seeker tanks are now going to be produced, and he already has 3 tripod. Wait, no, did he get a 3rd one out? No, he only has 2. Only has 2. He already has 2 tripods out. He's probably going to drop a ref on this field. I mean, he may as well. It's the only major tip field left on the map. So he may as well drop a ref down there. That tripod is actually in a little... he can just phase that, though. If he needs to, he can just phase that away. And Senna, yeah, he's in a lot of trouble here. The Scorpion tanks, they're just not going to have enough DPS. And I imagine Lumos will just keep crawling closer and closer and closer until he is basically, you know, having repair drones here permanently. He's going to move in now. This tripod does get picked off, does kill a couple of tanks. But Senna is now moving, Lumos is now moving into Senna's base, and he's going to lose a Harvester, and this is the issue now, is if he loses these Harvesters, they're going to be nearly impossible to replace. But now the Scorpion tanks are just going to get focused down with the help of the tripod, and I think Lumos has finally been able to break through and finish off the game. Yeah, Senna's forces are going to get knocked out, and I think, there it is, the fire cell comes, and Lumos wins the game and gets himself back on the scoreboard with a 1-1 return. I mean, Lumos did that in a really unique way. I haven't really seen all-ins defended by fast-teching of one production structure, but he managed to do it, and I mean, that tells the story. What did I just say? That tells the story. That resource graph, huge, and Senna did well to survive that long, to be fair. Lumos did make a lot of positional mistakes, like that Seeker engagement at the north was really bad, and it turns out he didn't even get shard launchers, he actually went for shields on his tripods, so there you go. But as you can see, Senna's economy was just nothing, and that's what happens when you're all in. But yeah, losing that engineer at the start of the game, Senna was forced to do that, and if Senna had to win in like 3 or 4 minutes, and he didn't, and then Lumos was just able to solidify his position and win the game. 1-1, we move to game 3, I'll see you there. Alright, here we are on Tournament Arena. In the top left is the red marked of Kane. We have Lumos. And in the bottom right of Tournament Arena as the yellow black hand, it's Senna. The man from Croatia. Lumos and Senna both picking random in this game. And it is Mock versus Blackhand on Tournament Arena. So I can already tell we're going to see a lot of Scorpion tanks. And possibly a lot of MCV selling from these players. Well, only 2 MCV sells really. That's not really a lot. But it is a lot in terms of Kane's Wrath. Now, 3 Awakened squads down the middle, and he also had 1 up top to garrison that bunker. Cabals through the middle of the map, they won't really achieve too much against a Mock player. Obviously, since that, like, the Cabal nerf way back in, like, R12 or whatever, Cabals have never really been able to compete with Awakened anymore. They used to be decent because you used to get full squads from selling Shredder turrets or selling your barracks, but versus Mock, you just sort of know you're not going to compete in the scout game. But that's what a Raider Buggy's for after all, and I'm not sure why he split up his dudes like this. Now, that Emp actually achieves nothing, because Nod MCVs have a... I'm not sure if it's an intended feature, I'm pretty sure it is, because it sort of resembles the Temple of Nod's countermeasures ability, but it takes 2 EMPs to EMP a Nod MC... Wow, okay, well there we go. I was right about the MCV selling part. Lumos is all in. There we go. But Senna's seen it. Senna knows it's here. He's just got a Cabal chilling right next to this power plant. So Senna knows it's coming, and he's going for Scorpion tanks. He hasn't even built a 3rd Harvester, so I'm interested to see if Lumos can actually break through here. He's got 4 bikes, 5 coming in now. 2 Scorpion tanks are already out, and Blackhand have Cabals. I mean, Cabals may not be what the beasts that they once were, but they are still powerful enough to deal severe damage to bikes with their gun damage. Now we can see that the bikes are returning to base, so Lumos has done nothing, and he's transitioning straight into Scorpion tanks. And I think that's a great choice, because he knows that Senna's economy isn't actually going to be that much better than his, because he's committed to the Scorpion tanks, he's committed to a barracks, he probably even has a laser turret queued. If I had to guess, that would be a laser turret. Yeah, so Senna's economy isn't actually any better. In fact, you could argue it's worse. Well, you can't anymore, because there is a 2nd or a 3rd Harvester there. But we see the composition of Scorpion tanks and bikes moving out now, and that's a weird placement. Put it in your tip field. You want to protect your harvesters. Like out here, he can just slip down the bottom if he wanted to. He can send his Scorps up this way, send his bikes down the bottom. And it's going to be really difficult for him to do anything about that. He's going to pick off the tip spike. There's only 3 Scorpion tanks here for Senna. I mean, laser turrets, they are a beast in R16. The buff that they were given from the R15 to R16 transition phase was I believe, 100% rate of fire buff, or a 50% rate of fire buff. I know it was something absolutely ludicrous, which made them from one of the worst base defenses in the game to one of the best in one update. In fact, they may be the most cost-effective beside the Sonic Emitter in R16. Second War Factory out for Senna now. Is he going to sell his MCV? I mean, I would if I was him, because he needs... Oh, God. Yeah, well, laser turret maybe, yeah. But, of course, well, there you go. The EMP comes down, and now it's going to be difficult for Senna to defend this, because he's actually got less Scorpion numbers, and his rocket squads are going to get crushed, and the bikes are going to get in and start attacking the Harvester line. So Senna's sort of in a weird position where he's not quite sure what to shoot at. Do you shoot at what's shooting at you, or do you shoot at what's shooting at your Harvesters? He actually built a 4th Harvester as well. The Scorpion tanks are now actually focusing on... Why would you sell that? What? Senna, why would you sell that? That made literally no sense. If you were going to sell any more factory, you would sell this one, because this one is really easy repairs for your Harvesters. Is that Harvester going to fall? No, it's going to survive on the smallest amount of HP, and that's really important. That's a whole extra load of Tiberium that Senna's going to get. Where are you going? Why are you unpacking your MCV? Why are you selling laser turrets? Lumos still all in, and you have no idea what he's doing, and you're just going to assume that, oh, well, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to move out. You've got Harvesters sitting here on basically no health. You have 1 production structure, and you're moving it... What? What is he doing? Alright, Senna. Look, I know you're a great player, but this move makes 0 sense. What is he expecting to do? Infantry push? Like, he doesn't even have more units than Lumos. I mean, Lumos is just going to send bikes around the side. He defends with Scorpion tanks, and then... Unless his plan is to push with laser turrets, yeah, maybe it is. If it's to push with laser turrets, maybe he's got something, but he's left no units at home to defend his harvesters, and these bikes, they're just going to run in and kill everything. And then all Lumos has to do is hold, and it doesn't matter how he holds... He's just got to do it. And these bikes are going to come in, and this harvester's instantly going to get popped, and this harvester will probably also get instantly popped, and then Senna is in dire straits. Here we go. He's going to sell off that, but it's too late now. He has to win in this push. Senna has to win in this push, but I don't think he'll have enough, because... Oh, he turns around. He's turned around. No. Now this just gives Lumos too much time. He's looking at how many Scorpion tanks are here for Lumos. The Scorpion tanks are going to try and move in, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He does save the Harvester, and he built another one, so maybe it's not over yet, but Lumos is looking like he's just going to out-pump the forces. I mean, yeah. Did he go for a... Yeah, he's even got a third Harvester now, so his economy is better than Senna's, and he has 2 War Factory. Is he going for a Shrine? That's what I want to know. I don't imagine he would be, because the Blackhand squads aren't really going to help that much versus this. That's a really nice concave there by Lumos. What's he built? I don't even know what he's building. I mean, he just has no income. This is the issue now, is he's going to... Yeah, Lumos will win this engagement easily, because the infantry will just get crushed. The Scorpion tanks are going to try and reverse move and kite. And, well, I mean, it's a good little maneuver to move to the north, where the minority of tanks are, but yeah, Lumos is just going to roll in here, and I think the game's over. Yeah, this is GG. I imagine Senna will probably fire sell any second now, or quit the game. This is over. Yeah, I'm not sure what this MCV move was by Senna, and I think it's, there we go. And there it is. Yeah, I'm not sure what that MCV move by Senna was. His defense of that all-in was very strange. And the laser turrets he had defending his field, he sold. Which I guess was to pump money into the push, but the push was never going to work because he was going to lose his harvesters. So Lumos, that was a really well executed all-in. Senna did make a few mistakes, in my opinion, on trying to defend it, but Lumos, as soon as he recognized, okay, the bikes on their own aren't going to work, he transitioned to Scorpion tanks, and as soon as the Scorpion tanks worked, he got a few bikes back to harass, and I think that was a really well-played game by Lumos. He takes a 2-1 lead in this best of 8, and we will move to game number 4. See you there. Game number 4 of this best of 8 series, and Lumos has chosen the map Tournament Badlands, and on the left-hand side it is Lumos, with the red steel talons, drawn from random, and on the right-hand side it is Senna, who needs to bounce back. He's lost 2 games in a row. He is on the right-hand side as Not Vanilla. He'll be looking to bounce back here because Senna will feel like he should be winning this series. He was the highest seeded player. He was in the first, they did like 4 different groups of players, and Senna was in the top group to be drawn into the groups. Lumos was in the second one, which was surprising because Lumos is quite a good player. But this brought a really good matchup here with Senna and Lumos in this tournament early on, so it's a really good series so far. Lumos is playing very well. He's pulled off the 2 wins. Now I'll be interested to see how he does this, because Steel Talons, and a lot of players, they don't like Steel Talons. They feel like they're underpowered. They feel like they don't have enough mobility in their forces, which is a fair complaint with them, because the Titan and Wolverine, while more powerful, is certainly not as maneuverable as the APC and the Predator tank. And obviously with Lumos being a Nod player, he's used to having that bike buggy at hand, but we do see a Flame Rush coming out from Senna here. I really hope he does not go for a Reckoner, because if he goes for a Reckoner versus Steel Talons, we'll be seeing a quick 3-1. Flame Tank comes out, and he sells off the Operation Center, so it looks like he's just going to go for a 1 Flame Tank and send the Blackhand squad down to the Tib Spike. Is he going for a second Operation Center? No, that looks like a Refinery. Now, what have we got? Pit bulls coming out. Yep, good. Right response. Doesn't need to go for a Titan. Just get a couple of pits out and deal with that. And yeah, Senna just goes back in for a third war factory. Now, obviously, this is a Nod flame tank, so not as threatening as the Blackhand flame tank. But still don't want it anywhere near your buildings. And you also don't want to put your pit bulls in range of that flame tank. And this is good micro from Lumos. Oh, well, oh, I almost jinxed him there. Oh, I have jinxed him, have I? No. He's doing fine. He's gone for a lot of pits here, though, and I think that's a... Oh, no, Lumos! Lumos! Oh, does he lose 2? No, he only loses 1. That's actually not too bad. That's not too bad. Where is that Blackhand squad? Oh, it's in the bunker. Okay, so there we go. Now, stage 2 of the game of after a flame rush. How do both players recover from it? Now... Obviously, Senna's already pumped back up to 5 harvesters, and he's building raider buggies to defend, which is actually a really good choice, because there's only 3 pit bulls here. You're not in immediate danger of losing harvesters, but they slowly pick away, and now he builds a bike, and I think he's going to lose it, because he's let it go to the front. Yeah, he does lose the bike, but he picks off another pit bull, so worth it? 100%. Second war factory out from Senna now. Lumos has rebuilt up to his 5 harvesters. Senna has 5 as well, but Lumos has the ref. Senna has the second war factory and also has a spike advantage now. So the buggies are pushing across the map, fighting against the pit bulls. More bikes coming to reinforce now. And the dust settles for quite a small amount of time, I imagine. Ref down for Senna now. He does have quite a sizable force. I'm surprised he's not moving out with it. Has Lumos gone for a second ref? He has. So, Senna is behind economically, kind of. He's going to have a 2 spike advantage. He has a harvester advantage. He's going for the blue. Now, obviously, the blue field plays a really big part of this map, as well as Tournament Highlands, which is obviously just a reskin of Tournament Badlands, which was created by Predator. And Tournament Highlands was created by Technique as a reskin of Tournament Badlands. Tournament Badlands was one of the most popular Predator maps before Technique's maps come out. And it was sort of forgotten about for a long while there when everyone was playing Highlands instead. The bike buggy here cleaning up the pit bulls. And Senna, I mean, he has quite a number of forces here. Lumos has actually gone back for... Whoa, where is his MCV going? He's gone for a second war factory. But he needs some watchtowers here to focus down the bikes. Because he doesn't actually have enough pit bulls here to kill the bikes. Because there's so many buggies here as well. Like, you've got 5 buggies. And they actually really help in the bike buggy fights versus pit bulls. Because they actually do quite a lot of damage to the pit bulls. And obviously they tank a lot of pit bull shots. So it's an interesting choice here to keep pumping out the pit bulls. The MCV does deploy in the middle, but a second harvester will go down, and a lot of his pit bull forces have been killed now. The Blackhand squad has also made it all the way up. Oh, he's Q moved, hasn't he? Yep, he Q moved. Senna Q moved and didn't kill the tip spike. Well done. He's probably going to get another harvester. Oh, he's turning back into the pit bulls. I'm not sure about that. Senna will probably be really confused by seeing this MCV here as well. He'd be like, why have you put that there? His third war factory comes down. Maybe Lumos is looking to go for a base push. Like, he's built this war factory, going to start building Titans, maybe. He sells the war factory back at his main base, so I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what he's going for here. He needs to rebuild some harvesters on this field. He only has 6 harvesters, and Senna's taken that bottom blue field. Nobody's taken any of that top field, and he also has a spike advantage, Senna. Tib Core is not on the way, actually. He's not started upgrading it. But he does have his tier 3 there. I imagine it'll be Tib Core. I don't imagine he would go for laser capacitors first. And yeah, here we go. So the Titans start coming out and his MCV is moving across the map. But I think it's too late now because Senna can build avatars and obelisks. And I think it'll be really hard for Lumos to break through. He's only got 2 war factory production. One's all the way back here. By the time his MCV gets here, don't build Scorpion tanks. Build avatars. Senna, you love avatars. You're the Avatar King. You brought the Avatar back to the Kane's Wrath meta. And now here you are, not using it. Unbelievable. Alright, well, we'll see how this goes for Lumos, but I don't see it working. It's just, he just doesn't quite have enough. He still only has 3 harvesters on that tib field. And you can see on the mini-map that Senna is taking that bottom blue field. Avatar is about to come out, and Obelisk as well. And there we go, first Avatar, first Obelisk, and all of a sudden, I mean, Lumos instantly has to fall back. He's actually built a ref in the middle as well. Bike Buggy moving in along the top. He's going to tip vane this. He's going to tip vane these Pitbulls away. Oh, I can just smell it. Oh, no. No tip vane yet. But he has killed 2 harvests. Oh my god, he's not going to get that. Oh, there it is. There it is. I knew it was coming. And now these 2 harvesters will probably die as well. There are more Pitbull reinforcements. There's only 2 bikes left. Well, 1 bike left and a Scorpion tank. He should still kill that one, I imagine. And then that will be that there. Catalyst comes down as well. Kills that. Wait, no, he sold a ref. And then Catalyst the other one. Oh dear. That's really bad. And now, yeah, Senna's just going to start spamming out the avatars. And making this really difficult. Wow, I'm not sure why he sold a ref anyway. Like, a ref gives you $500 back, and when you still have a whole tib field here, there's no reason to sell a ref in that situation. He's not that tight on money. He has double ref here. And he could have had a ref up there still. Instead, he has just this field to rely on, and he's got his harvesters going back and forth from the middle, and it's just a bit... Yeah... And now he's going for a Redeemer. Moving his MCV forward. Senna is looking in a really comfortable position. Transitioning into infantry, I mean, it's not a bad idea, but once the MCV arrives here and he starts dropping shredders on the front line, Senna will be sitting really pretty. Pitbull's going for a little counter harass in the north. But they'll get 1 harvester, but they're going to lose some of their lives for it. Yeah, 2 Pitbulls go down. And the Titans are going to rally. Are they going to be able to break through this? I mean, no, they're not. There's 6 avatars on the field. A Redeemer's about to come out. A 7th avatar's about to come out. There's almost more avatars than there are Titans. And then, there you go. The game ends. So, obviously, Lumos being the replay saver, the game just ends. And Senna will take back a game, and it will go back to 2-2. Now, it is a best of 8, so this series could end in a draw. There is the possibility of the series ending in a draw. It can go to 4-4, and there will not be a tiebreaker. It's just a draw. They share the points for the series, and then they'll play their second series, and if that's a draw as well, they just get the same amount of points. But that's the end of Game 4 of the first best of 8. We will move to Game number 5 and see what we get there. And game number 5 takes us to Tournament Dust Bowl No Poker Edition in the north, being drawn from random. He got Nod from random. I stuffed that up, but I don't care. I ain't going to retake it. Lumos in the north drew Nod from random. And in the south, it's Senna. He's yellow. He's Traveller, 59. So it's actually the exact matchup we had in the first game, except both players have picked random this time. Only Senna was random in the first game, and Lumos had picked Nod. But in this game, both players have gone random. And we can see that Senna and Lumos will both capture their tip spikes. Now, Tournament Dust Bowl No Poker. It's obviously a technique remake of the original map, and just pops the tip spikes that are normally here and here into the corners. Nice and safe. Easy to capture. No real... I don't even think if you sold a power plant as a screen player, you could get here before the engineer could walk there. And even if you could do that, it only takes 1 scout to defend 1 buzzer. So it's yeah, it's a really safe tip spike. It's a bit of an iffy, you know, some people don't like the no poker. Some people think it's, you know, a bit lame. But it means that you don't get, like in a game like this, if this was a random mirror, Senna doesn't know that he's gone Nod and he goes, I'm going to go fast leg, or that Lumos has got Nod, I go fast legs and I'm going to take both spikes, Lumos go shadow teams, insta win for Lumos. And that's just not fun. That's not what you want to see in a tournament. So I think it's really good that the no poker maps are played for tournament gameplay. I don't mind playing the poker maps in casual games, but I think for tournament games, you don't want to see any games won like that, especially when both players are picking random. And Senna pretty much always picks random, so... And it would just be awful if you saw a game one like that, where one player went shadows, one player went descents in a random mirror, and the shadow player just instantly wins, because that's what happens if you descent rush into shadow teams. You're never going to win the game, unless the nod player makes a serious error. Senna is a long way ahead economically here. I guess that's because he went for that Raider buggy. Lumos has got a Raider buggy, and Screen is just naturally better at eco in that early game period. Actually, in all stages of the game, really. That Harvester having a little bit of a bug out, so that's definitely not going to help the eco situation for Lumos. Now we can see second War Factory out for Lumos here, so he's going to go for that double War Factory aggression. I think this is a much better decision. Versus Senna, I think you need to put him on the back foot, because if you let that man sit there, build his refineries, build his harvesters, and do what he wants, that he is going to build twice the army you're going to build. It's just how it works with Senna. So you want to make sure that you are putting him on the back foot and disrupting that economy. Now, I really like this play from Lumos. Get out there, get in Senna's face. And I mean, he's going to get a Harvester here, guaranteed. This is a Harvester kill. And it might be two, because Senna really doesn't have anything. He has 2 Seeker tanks on the field, and they're out of position. So this could be a really quick early advantage for Lumos here. I think he easily gets 2 Harvesters here. And even if he loses 3 or 4 bikes, I think it's worth. Don't send the bikes in like that, though. He's got to commit for that, I think. Yeah, 100% you commit for that. He lost... Oh my god, he lost 2 bikes. And he got 2 Harvesters. That was an awesome trade for Lumos. Maybe he lost 3. Maybe he lost 3. But I definitely saw him lose at least 2. And he definitely didn't. He definitely wouldn't have lost more than 3. And that's a really awesome trade to start this game for Lumos. And he's actually built a Harvester for him. He's got another Harvester, so there you go. But Senna, being Senna, has just gone, oh, you killed my Harvesters, I'ma just build more. And obviously, that's what he's done. So now Lumos has to pile on the aggression again. He needs to keep going. He can't just say, alright, I got 1 good attack on Senna, I'm going to sit back now. And, you know, because Senna will find a way. He will find a way to get back ahead of you economically. And you need to deal with that. Now, the big weakness in Senna's gameplay is he does Q move. And that's what you've got to take advantage of. You need to hit him from 2 fronts. You send a majority of your army one way and he'll go, oh shit, I need to be over here. Like, the bike buggy's over here. And then you send 4 or 5 bikes around the side, kill a Harvester. And that's how you play versus him. If you turn it into a big Q A move battle, you're not going to win. Seekers are going to engage the bikes here. He actually doesn't kill either of the Seeker tanks, so that's really disastrous. Could have killed 2, ended up killing none. Gets that one now, though. Kills 1 and kills another. Well, he's doing well now. Oh, no, his army's force trying the ground. No, it was for a split second there. The buggies, at least, were shooting at the ground. Now, the Seeker tanks, they're going to start getting overwhelmed here because he does have a severe lack of units, but I think the Mechapeds are going to start being on their way now, is it? Or is he going tripods? I don't know if that's just he's stalled or it's a tripod. I think it's going to be a tripod. Yeah, tripod comes out. This Harvester will probably go down, but no, he phases. Well, that's not too bad for... Whoa. He's going to commit for it. Oh, if you commit, you've got to commit, and he pulled away, and I think that's going to cost him quite a few extra bikes there. Yeah, he does lose another couple of bikes. Going for triple War Factory is Lumos. And Seeker tanks moving across the map, but they're moving straight into the death ball. I mean, this isn't really the greatest engagement for Senna here because these Seeker tanks are actually a lot shooting at the buggies a lot. But there you go. So Lumos, well, he's playing alright, but he needs to keep that aggression. I think Senna's already in the safe spot. Like, he's in the sweet spot now. And the thing is with Lumos is he doesn't even have any tech. Like, he has no tech at all. He's at his 3rd, sure, but he has no tech. And if Senna just... I mean, if Senna decided to just pack his drone up and say, fuck you, I'm a base push, Lumos is dead. Now, don't lose your drone ship. That would be a disaster. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's going to take a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. But I don't think Lumos can commit to that, because even if he did end up killing it, he would lose his entire bike buggy army. And if he lost everything, that's GG. Like, Senna can just push with his tripods and he pretty much just wins. He can just push with the tripods he has here and start building gunwalkers, so there's no infantry transition that could kill him. Scorpion tanks in the south are going to push in, and this is what I'm talking about. You hit Senna from 2 sides and he's going to struggle a little bit. Good split from him at the moment, though, so that's okay. So Senna's on the ball. And this is, I think this is a time when you know Senna's playing quite well, is if he is splitting his army up, he's playing well. And that shows how well Lumos has played in those other games, because he's beaten Senna that's played this well twice in this series already. That Seeker tank overstepping its mark a little bit. That ref does just survive. Scorpions are going to have to deal with this tripod force. I mean, he should be able to deal with that. With this many Scorps, I'm not sure moving out here for Senna is the right play. I've noticed Senna never goes for a Prodigy. A lot of Traveller players at this stage would be just going beelining, Stasis Chamber, give me that Prodigy. But not Senna. Senna doesn't do that. Senna ain't about that Prodigy lame life. Scorpion tanks are going to overwhelm these tripods. There's just too many Scorpion tanks here, isn't there? I know there's quite a few decoys in there, but no, you don't want to engage next to the War Factory now, and the reinforcements have arrived. Has killed the Husk, so that's good. That's cool. Ooh, that Seeker tank does survive. That's nice. Bike's trying to sneak into the back of Senna's base, and they will get in. Harvester. Gonna get picked off. Yeah, he does get that Harvester, so that's nice. But whoa, buggies. Yeah. Get the hell out of there. That is not the way for you guys to go. Gets another 2 harvesters. We got 3 harvesters there, so that's really nice for Lumos. He's actually got Senna down to 6 harvesters. Yeah, he's down to 6 harvesters, which is enough. It's enough. It's sufficient for this stage of the game, because you only need them on 1 field, and once this field drives out, you can just put 2 on each and you're chilling. But it means that he's going to take quite a while to mine this field, because normally at this stage you have like 9 harvesters here. And you can, well, most only has 4. But he's transitioning now. I mean, look at how many harvesters he could have down there. He's got 3 harvesters sitting up here. Scorpion tanks fighting against the... where are you going? No. Nope. No. Nah. Absolutely not. You cannot do this without a Redeemer. You cannot do this without a Redeemer versus Traveller. Or Venoms. Or anything. This is... oh my god, they're just... what if... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Senna's going to absolutely get stomped in this fight. He doesn't have Temporal, does he? FaZe comes in. Uh-oh. Crushy time. Oh, god, the MCV's right there. Actually, this is disastrous for Senna, because if he starts cleaning up these husks, Lumos is looking real good. I think Senna's in a lot of trouble here, actually. Yeah, Senna's dead. Senna's 100% dead here. Is he? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about. I thought Lumos was throwing the game, but no, he knew what he was doing. But yeah, again, it shows you keep that aggression onto Senna, and you keep him busy, because that's the difference between the first game and this game. Is the first game Lumos just went for a bunch of harvesters, a bunch of refs, and was like, I'm going to play a macro game. And Senna, he just beats everyone at it. And you can see, Lumos would have killed 7 or 8 harvesters that game. And you can see eventually it took its toll on Senna's economy. And slowly he dwindled away. So Lumos takes a 3-2 lead in the series. And that's impressive. Lumos is playing well. So we'll head to game number 6. See if I actually know what I'm talking about in the next game. Alright, so I'm surprised that they've even been allowed to play this map, considering Tournament Badlands has been played, but we are on Tournament Highlands on the right hand side, as the nod, again drawn from random, is it's Lumos. And in the left corner, or the bottom left corner, as the Scrin Vanilla, it's Senna. 2-3 down in the series. Now, if Lumos can get a win against Senna, that's really big. That's really big, because he could qualify top of the group. And I feel like if he can win the first series, he'll have the confidence he can win the second one. But if he loses the series from here, he might feel really demoralized. Now, of course, let's not count out the fact that, oh, look at that, a little Master Leaf trick there from Senna to get a free Disintegrator. I don't even know if that actually works anymore, if that got patched out. I don't know if that still costs $300 for Senna. I'm not sure if CGF fixed that or not, or if it's not fixable. That little, you power it down before the whole squad comes out, and you get it for free because the when you sell off the the barracks, it goes, oh, well, you didn't finish building the disintegrator, so you get $300 back. But I don't know if that still works. I feel like it got patched in R16 or R15 or something, because Master Leaf was abusing it every time we played Trav. Anyway, we'll have a look at this game. No rush from Lumos, which is a shame, because if he'd done a flame rush, I mean, GG. Well, not GG, but GG to the disintegrators. That would have been a big win early in the series. Early in the game, sorry. Goodness me. It's not even late, it's only 9:30, and I'm losing my mind. Disintegrators are going to come in. MCV is unpacked, which is really bad. Oh, this could be a really quick win. Oh no, he goes for the crush move. Actually, I think it saved him. I think it'll save him. Oh, yeah, he's going to lose no harvesters. I mean, a lot of lost mining time, though. A lot of lost mining time. And look, this harvester is in no man's land, and Senna will be just pumped. He's got a 5th harvester out. Second raider buggy have to come out. The expansion's delayed. And he built another buggy. Oh no, Lumos really needed to cancel that. And even though Senna didn't kill a harvester, look how far ahead he is now. And that was just because they were unscouted. They got all the way into the base, completely unscouted. This harvester, even when it's finished docking, it's got to be in heavy damage mode, and that's gonna make it really difficult for Lumos to mine with this harvester, because it is so badly damaged. Senna is going to move to his expansion. Now, he's got to go double war factory. He can't eco. He cannot eco because Senna is already miles ahead. Is Senna going for the blue? He's not going for either of the blue fields. These buggies, I don't really know what they're trying to achieve. Ref down already. I mean, this is a ref too. Senna's, I mean, I think Senna's going to just win. If this isn't a war factory, Lumos is dead. Yeah, no. Although I thought he was dead last game, and then he absolutely stomped the fight at the north. So, what do I know? The harvester moving out to take the blue Tiberium, I imagine. Senna's actually not going for too much eco here either. He's actually looking to put the pressure on Lumos with the Seeker push. Second War Factory comes down for Lumos. Second Refinery comes down for Senna. He's actually called that harvester back from the blue team, which I think is a great decision by Senna, because he knows that, I don't know if he saw the Second War Factory, but he knows bike buggy's out, and he just wants to be safe, make sure he doesn't lose a harvester to any bikes around the side, or just any army in general. Now, he's only got 3 harvesters on his expansion, so he hasn't ecoed as hard as I thought he might, but he has pumped out a lot of Seeker tanks. Second ref is almost done for Lumos, but Senna is... oh, well, he's not actually. I thought he would be teching up, but he's gone for a portal. Tips bike under attack. Lumos will retreat. Scorpion tank transition on the way. Probably the right... I don't know if it's the right idea. We'll see. We'll see if Lumos can make the Scorpion tank transition work. He made it work last game, that bike buggy into Scorpion. But the difference is this game is that Senna is Scrin, which means his Seeker tanks get shields, his Seeker tanks get shard launchers, which they did last game, but he didn't go for that play. He's actually got his stasis chamber down. I wonder if he thought he was Trav, or he actually is going to use stasis sometime soon. Infantry transition coming out, or is it just a few rocket squads to defend and cause pain for Senna? Must just be a little bit of rocket squads. I think he's trying to tech up. Neither player taking the blue tib yet, but Senna is getting his first load from the south now. Disintegrators and Seeker tanks in the north. Oh, this harvester, it's below. Yeah, this harvester's dead. It's just a little bit too far behind the rest of Senna's army. And this full load of blue Tiberium is going to go crashing back into the earth. Seeker tanks defending that bottom field. Geez, Senna has a lot of units. He only has one war... oh, no, he does have a second war factory now. But, he's really pumped these units out, hasn't he? Seeker tanks into the north. They're going to be looking to pick off that Tiberium spike. Bikes in the south. They're going to run head first into these Seeker tanks, and that's not a great move. Oh no, Lumos! He realizes now attenuated force fields is done. 3 bikes went down there for only 1 Seeker kill. Scorpion tanks, well, he's almost got those blades. He's a long way from tier 3, and Shard Launchers is on its way. Yeah, Senna is in a dominant position in this game, but maybe these bikes can turn the tide. He should pick off at least one harvester, and they've already picked off that one harvester at the blue tip. And with that kill, he does put Senna down to 6 harvesters again. So very similar to the last game, except Senna is in has a lot better army at this stage than he did, and Lumos' army is probably a lot worse than it was. He is going for the laser scorp spam again. And this is what these Russian players are known for. The ones that have got good at the game is they just build a fucking shit ton of Scorpion tanks. Put laser capacitors on them bad boys and say, come at me, and look at that. 3 War Factory, laser capacitor on the way. I'm going to sell my MCV and I'm going to spam a shit ton of Scorpion tanks. And see, this game, I know what I'm talking about. Last game, not so much. Here we are. Shard Launchers is done, and I imagine he's probably getting force fields as well. This is the issue this game, though, is that Shard Launchers has come up, and laser capacitors is still a while away. And Senna's going to push in. I mean, there's nothing stopping him, is there? And until these forces get laser capacitors, they don't really... Like, Scorpion tanks are okay versus Shard Seekers. They do okay. You know, they're not going to get embarrassed. The only issue is that Senna has this one ability called Stasis Chamber, or Stasis Shield. And that's really powerful. Now, I'm not sure... There we go, laser capacitors is done. But I think there's just too much. And with the Stasis, yeah, Senna's going to absolutely annihilate this fight. And that is another one of those big differences between the Traveler and the Scrin, is that the Scrin, they get that Stasis Shield, where Traveler... I don't remember Senna using the Temporal last game, but he obviously either didn't have the money for it or he used it. But this game, money is in the bank, Stasis has been used, and the fight has been won. And I imagine that after these Scorpion tanks fall, the base will be next. The rocket squads are going to move out to support the fight, but all it takes is one Buzzer Swarm ability, and it looks like it'll be all over. Senna's actually expanded to the middle as well, and he's going to reclaim this husk, maybe? Will Lumos be able to kill it in time? I don't think he will. It does get picked up, but I think the tripod will instantly die again. Doesn't even... No, it shoots one beam and then goes down again. Lumos still has quite a sizable army, and this is the thing. When you sell your MCV... It's not even the fact that you got $1,700 from the MCV. That doesn't mean much. It's the fact that you are forced to only build units. You don't build any other infrastructure. So you just build units. You don't care about your economy. You don't care about building any more tech. It's just all Scorpion tanks, and they are moving into this force. They are slowly whittling down the tripods, but the Seeker tanks, they are putting out so much DPS, and especially with that Shard Launcher upgrade, and the tripods are gonna survive. The rocket squads, they're doing their best, but there's a lot of Buzzer Swarms here now, and some engineers are going to come out very soon, and I think Senna is going to hold the line. Almost just not quite able to break through. Oh my god, I've just pulled up my Windows tab. Buzzer Swarm comes down and cleans up all the infantry, and there are still 4 husks there, and with no Venoms, it's going to be near on impossible for him to clear those, and even if he did, I think he's dead anyway. He's running out of Tiberium. He has next to no forces left. This group of militants has actually killed the tip spike. There you go. But yeah, Senna's going to reclaim all the husks. Lumos throws in the towel. And again, Senna goes behind in the series and then takes it back. And we see it go to 3-3. Senna, yeah, his build... It just, the way he plays Scrin works better when he's Scrin vanilla, because he doesn't use the Prodigy. So why, like, you know, why play Trav when you can play Scrin, you know? It's better Trav if you don't use the Prodigy, and we saw that. Shields on the Seekers plus Shard Launchers, they just completely changed the tide of the fight from the last game. But it sees the scores even out to 3-3. Senna versus Lumos, putting on a clinic here, an absolute clinic. We'll move to game 7, and we will see how that goes. All right, here we are on Tournament Towerless. Lumos in the top left. I mean, he has proven me wrong time and time again in this series. After in the first game I said he is a nod player, he has not picked random this game. He has picked GDI Vanilla, and the Kane's Wrath Gods said, alright then, let's see a mirror. Senna in the bottom right has picked random, but has been dealt GDI Vanilla as well. Let's not lose an engineer this game, hey, Senna? That would be a good start, like we saw on Tournament Tower. Again, I'm surprised that this is allowed. I mean, I guess, like, the referees wouldn't be seeing... Because it's a league-style format, every series isn't being watched by every thing and isn't being watched live and all that, so... And it really... personally, I don't think it's a big issue, but Tournament Tower... Like, Tournament Highlands to Badlands, there's quite a big difference there with the terrain and the tip spikes positioning, and it's actually quite a bit larger than Badlands, Tournament Highlands, but Tower to Towerless, gee, it's basically the same map with some blue tip, you know what I mean? Like, the only other difference is these little cracks, and, well, there's no tower, but that doesn't really have much gameplay impact. Gameplay? Did I say gameplay? I don't know. Anyway, so a GDI mirror on Tournament Towers. GDI mirrors on Tournament Towers or on small maps in general are pretty damn fun to watch, because you know they're just ramming into each other the whole game. You know, head first, Predator tanks, Marv, Juggernaut, Sonic emitter, Orcas, like every unit under the sun can get brought into play in a GDI mirror. And I actually think they are my favourite matchup to play and watch. I love a good GDI mirror. But we will see who can come out on top in the GDI mirror. Who is the better GDI player on Tournament Towerless? Let's see the different builds. So you can see the different styles of expanding on this map. Senna has gone for the low MCV, where Lumos has sent his MCV to the north. There's no right way to do it. It's just personal preference. This is more of a defensive position for your tip field. This is more of a defensive position for your MCV. So it's, are you more worried about losing your MCV or losing your harvesters? Lumos is thinking, I'm going to defend my tip field, because when you put your MCV up here, you have build radius all the way up to like here, right? And when you're down here, you only have build radius to about here. So it's hard. If you're mining tib over here, it's hard to defend it. Necessarily with base defenses or anything like that. Foxhole's being really annoying for Senna as well here. Pitbull's coming out, and yeah, this is just frustrating. This is just frustrating. Like, it's nothing more than frustrating, because you know you're going to have to spend money to repair that. And that's why, like, this $100 Foxhole, 100% paid for itself, because it takes a lot to repair structures. And this power plant is less than 50% full. And if Lumos just forgets about it and says, oh, I'll repair it later, I'm not going to waste money repairing it in the early game, and loses it, that hurts a lot. You just lost a power plant to a scout. Alright, we see Predator tanks out from Senna. We're going to focus on the game now. Airfield out from Lumos, and I like that. I like the airfield play, but he needs to get some forces down to deal with the Predator tanks that are marching towards his base. Senna has gone for double war factory, so there you go. Double ref. That is a play. On Tournament Tower, you go for a 4 ref build. That is brave. But the build that Lumos has gone for is actually warranting it, because 3 Predator tanks have been able to move in and almost kill this Harvester. They're actually not going to get it. That Harvester is going to get away with literally almost nothing in the health bar. And these rocket squads a lot of rocket squads have gone down to that rifle squad. And now Senna knows that there's Orcas, so he's going to probably go for Pitbulls, yep, and he's going to go for an AA battery. And the Orcas, they're still going to have an impact on the game though, because even if they don't kill Harvesters, as soon as the Pitbulls die, they're gonna hurt Predator tanks, Marv, Juggernauts, anything like that. But we can actually see Senna's going for his own Orcas, double airfield. Or is he going Hammerheads? He's going Hammerheads. So there you go, he's actually going Hammerheads. He's not going Orcas. Where are the Orcas? No, they're over here. Pitbull Scout coming in. He does see that Senna is going for Hammerheads. Almost picks off one of the Hammerheads too. APMO is almost done for Senna. Oh no, the Orcas. Oh, they're running straight into the Pitbulls. He's going to lose at least one, you would think. Wow, okay. The Pitbulls really did split their fire there. Unfortunately for Senna. Senna's going to recoup his forces in the middle of the map. So Pitbull Hammerhead looks like is what he's going for, but he's just mixing in some Predator tanks as well. And this is the thing with Senna, is he just sort of builds a bit of everything sometimes. He doesn't really go for a one unit composition and stick with it. And you could see that here, he's got Pitbulls, and then he's gone for Preds and Hammerheads. it doesn't all quite fit in together. And now he's going for infantry. So there you go. He's just really throwing it around and saying, I'm going to build a bit of everything and just see what happens. The hammerheads are actually sneaking along the top half of the map. They will be able to... I mean, they could fight these slingshots easily. No, kill the slingshots! Or just run away. Oh, man. Senna. Senna! Senna, 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 Senna. No, 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 no. No. Oh, that was disastrous. He lost 3 hammerheads and killed 1 upgraded power plant and didn't kill any of the slingshots. Now, there's 3 hammerheads in red damage mode. He has to send them back to an airfield now. He can't even use them in this next fight. Is a tier 3 down for either player? No. Triple War Factory for Lumos. He's going for a Predator take spam. Infantry coming out for Senna. Has he got an armory? He does, and he's almost got composite armor upgraded. There it is. So it's going to be... Well, he saw both airfields. Bro, you have super damaged... You've got to keep at least 1 airfield. They only give you $500 back, and they repair these units, which are worth $1,500. APC's coming in with the Predator Force, and the MCV coming forward as well. Predator on Predator action. That sounds sus, but it ain't. APC's moving into the base. And the hammerheads are going to come in and flank, and the slingshots are just sitting there doing nothing, and half of Lumos' army isn't even firing. We'll put this into a bit of a cinematic mode here to have a look at this fight, because this is probably the fight that decides the game, or at least decides the initial success of the engagement. Double Guardian Cannon down here for Senna, and I think Senna is going to hold, but also lose most of his army. Senna is holding, I think. Most of the hammerheads have gone down. These slingshots are going to find nearly no purpose, and most of that fight is over. The Guardian Cannons are putting in some serious work. All of the Orcas went down in that fight as well, so it's Watchtowers and Predator Tanks versus Guardian Cannons and Predator Tanks. Now, whoever gets a second, that's important. The second War Factory on the front line is super important, because now you double pump Predator Tanks into that army. But they're being insta-killed because there's so many Guardian Cannons here that as soon as the Predator Tank comes out, they're pretty much instantly going down. So he needs to find a way to deal with these Guardian Cannons. And the Watchtowers, they're going to slowly pick it off. I don't know if he's manually done this, but they are all focusing on 1 Guardian Cannon. But Senna is actually going to push this back. These Guardian Cannons are the MVP of this series, or of this match. And it looks like Senna is going to claim this game. Infantry transition on the back lines from Lumos. Sells his MCV. He's going all in on this infantry transition, but I don't think it'll be enough. He doesn't have the composite armor upgrade, and Senna already has AP ammo and is going back for hammerheads. And if he gets some sniper teams out as well, he'll be sitting really pretty to deal with what's here. Orchestrite comes in and confirms that, yep, it's just a mass infantry spam. Triple racks. He's going to spam Rifleman, and that'll be GG. I think Lumos will call it quits here. APC's arriving now, and the MCV moving forward. And there we go. Lumos calls it quits. Senna takes a 4-3 lead in the series. If he can win the next game, he can win the series and claim 3 points for his tally. If the next game is won by Lumos, they split the points. Well, they don't. They actually get 1 each. And the other point goes to heaven. But there we go, Senna. I didn't think he was going to hold that, but the Guardian Cannons, man, I mean, it shows that if you let them build up in a mass like that, they're really hard to remove with a small amount of units. And they prove to be way more effective than those AP ammo Watchtowers. Now, obviously, Lumos needed those for the infantry, but yeah, you could just see... And look at this unit graph. It was just slow build up, and then just that one big fight, which saw Senna take the win. We move to the final game of the series, and we'll see you there. The final match of the series sees us on pipeline problems, and spawning in the north as the red Black Hand. He has picked Black Hand. It's Lumos. And in the south as the yellow Reaper 17. It's Senna. He'll be looking to close out the series with a win here. Now, obviously, the best Lumos can hope for now is to get 1 point from the series with winning this game and tying it up. But Senna is going to look to get 3 points with a victory here to take the series 5-3. Now, this is interesting. Is Lumos flame rushing? I see a green tib build on pipeline, and I think this man is rushing. He's picked Black Hand. He's versus Scrin. He doesn't know that yet, but he is versus a Scrin. Now, are we going to see... Yep, Operation Senna. 100% that is an Operation Senna. So, Flame Rush. And this is really bad for Senna because he's gone for a Crane build. And even worse, he's gone for a Crane build which has gone for the Spike. And you think, well, why is that worse? It's worse because he has $1,000 sitting here at the moment with the Portal and that Engineer that could be going towards Seeker Tanks or could be going towards getting more economy to deal with this incoming Flame Rush, and I don't think he knows it's coming. This is also an issue as well. This is good in theory, but he doesn't know that Lumos is going to Flame Rush him. And building off the green tib too, it's actually brilliant because it means that once he does this Flame Rush, if he pushes Senna off this blue tib, he's on the blue tib, and he's got a full field still. Now, Senna has got double ref down. He does not even have a war factory yet. And he's still not building one. So Senna is in serious trouble here. There's a Reckoner moving out across the map with a Flame Squad. The Flame Tank comes in, cleans up the Disintegrators, loses about 25% of its health, though. And he's actually... Why? Why Disintegrators? I'm not sure about that choice. But, anyway, you're versing a Flame Rush and you go for Disintegrators. I don't quite get that idea from Senna, but we'll see if it can work for him. He's built 2 Disintegrators there. The Reckoner is going to come in on the left-hand side. He's going to be looking to go straight for that refinery. Straight for that refinery with the blue Tiberium. The Flame Tank on the right-hand side is starting to move in. The Seeker Tanks are out. Photon Cannon comes down. He deploys the Reckoner. Needs to shoot at the Disintegrators. Bang, there goes the Disintegrators. A lot of the DPS for that army is gone. Now, will he get the ref? I don't think he will. 1 Black Hand squad, it's such a big difference between 1 and 2 Black Hand squads. You can see, I mean, 2 Black Hand squads, that was dead ages ago. He's probably killed the Photon Cannon and everything. But this Flame Tank is going to get in. Now, can he get a ref before the Seeker Tanks come over? I don't think he will. The Photon Cannon comes down. Will he be able to get that ref? No, he doesn't get the refinery. Wow. Awesome hold by Senna. He did not lose either refinery. He's kept everything going. The only issue is his harvester count. He only has 4 harvesters. Now, how many does Lumos have? Lumos only has 4 as well, but he has double war factory, and he has another counterattack on its way. The Seeker Tanks are moving out of the base as well. This is not good for Senna, because this force isn't going to do as much damage as this force is, because this force can be defended by 2 rocket squads and a Cabal. You know what I mean? This force, though... There's nothing here for Senna. There is nothing here. He's going to try and build some Disintegrators, but he can just camp that portal out with a buggy. He's going to let that Harvester go. He says, I don't care about that Harvester. I'm going to kill the Harvester that's easy to pick off. The Seeker Tanks are trying to move in, but... Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about this. These Seeker Tanks, they don't know what they want to do. They're not sure where to go. The buggy is going to escape with his bike friends. And double barracks down for Lumos. Now, he's just going to keep transitioning. And he's going to say, alright, I've just hit you with bike buggy. I've still got a lot of bike buggy. And now I'm going to build infantry. Let's see how well you can deal with the infantry. Now, moving out on the right-hand side, we see our big bike buggy swarm. Now, if Senna is able to recover... I mean, it's not even recovery. He only lost the 1 harvester, but he still only has... 5 harvesters. This is very unlike Senna. He's actually ecoed very poorly here, and that's his strength normally. Is he ecos really well. He gets a good number of harvesters. He gets a good number of refs, and then he just builds a huge army. But he doesn't have the economy to do that this game, and that's a really big issue for him. He's gonna lose a blue tip harvester again. So he's now lost 2 full loads of blue tip and 2 harvesters, obviously. And these, I mean, yeah, Senna's in a lot of trouble here, actually. I mean, the infantry's going to start moving in. The Black Disciples upgrade is almost done, but the main, I mean, this infantry force isn't that scary, to be honest. But he's only got 2 Shard Walkers, and if he mixes it with the Bike Buggy, I actually don't think Senna can hold this. He's going for his blue shards. I imagine it would be blue shards. I don't know what else he'd be wasting money on at this stage. He doesn't have money to waste. Bike Buggy is going to move in with the rest of this army. The infantry is going to take the frontal fight while the bike buggy just goes in the back line and starts picking off harvesters. And I think this will be GG, and I think the series will finish 4-4. What an epic display these guys have put on today with some really nice games. But I think it's all over. Senna starts the fire cell, and Lumos, it is his series. He did get to pick the map pool, but he does take a 4-4 draw versus Senna in this best of 8, and I think that's very impressive for Lumos, and he can take a lot of confidence out of this series going into the second series that he can beat Senna even if Senna has the map choices. And that was a really well executed game. I really liked how Lumos played that flame rush into double war factory, into infantry. He did not let Senna breathe. And there we go. So that's the end of that series. I hope you guys enjoyed it because I sure had a blast casting it. These guys put on a really good show. And that's the end of the best of 8. Senna and Lumos take 4 games each. They'll take 1 point each in their group. And it'll come down to the final series of the entire group to decide who finishes on top. Will it be Senna? Will it be Lumos? Find out in the next video. And I'll see you guys then. Take care.